Compassionate, experienced, unwavering, approachable. These aren't just traits you want in a personal injury attorney. They're how clients describe the team at Habish, and Rotier. Right here in Madison, their attorneys are dedicated to guiding you through the complexities of the legal process with confidence and care, helping to calm the uncertainty and support your path to healing. For all types of personal injury cases, Habish is the name locals trust. Habish, and Rotier. National reputation, hometown service. Visit Habish.com or call 1-800-2-HABISH. Calling all Madisonians, musicians, and music lovers. Mark your calendars for Make Music Madison on June 21st. Make Music Madison is a free annual musical extravaganza performed by anyone and enjoyed by everyone. Every year on June 21st, over 2,000 cities across the globe celebrate Make Music Day. Here in Madison, we host the largest event in the country with more than 600 free shows across the city. Check out MakeMusicMadison.org for a listing of performers, times, and venues. Today on CityCast Madison. Want to take a dip? Summer's here, so it's a fabulous time to get out and enjoy the water. But where should you go? We got you covered. We're bringing back our conversation on the Madison area's best pools, beaches, and swim pads. To get some recommendations, we sat down with Elisa Sleep, co-founder of the popular local blog Madison Family, formerly known as Madison Mom. It's Wednesday, June 11th. I'm Bianca Martin, and here's what Madison's talking about. Elisa, hello.
Hi there.
So you all did a roundup of public pools, beaches, and splash pads.
Mm-hmm.
What is your favorite pool, hands down?
Yeah, I think that Dolphins Cove in Sun Prairie is a favorite for a lot of people in the Madison area. So it's actually a private outdoor water park, but you can buy a day pass. So it's open to the public. You can either buy a private membership or a day pass. It's at Prairie Athletic Club, and it has water slides, a lazy river, zero depth family pool, tons of interactive water features, and it's just a lot of fun for all ages.
Yeah, I've been to that one, and there's also like a huge TV screen. Like it really is like Jumbotron. There's everything is there. And I remember watching a Brewers game and thinking, this is legit. And there's stuff for adults. There's stuff for kids.
Yeah, no, that's so cool to be able to watch a baseball game from the pool. Makes you feel like you're on vacation.
And I think that one's like kind of, I don't know, maybe it's just me. It's like, it has the option to be fancier because there are cabanas that you could kind of sign up for, I guess. What about for kids? Like, what's your top go-to for a kids pool in Madison?
Yeah, I mean, Goodman Pool is also really great. That one's over by the Alliant Energy Center, operated by the city of Madison. And it also has the zero depth entry, which for me, when my kids were younger, that was huge. Like, being able to have the zero entry so that they can just walk in and it's shallow. It's kind of separated out from the deep end. That one also has fountains and like a lot of shallow water play, plus water slides, separate diving pool. It's pretty affordable. I don't remember the exact cost for a day pass, but it makes it accessible for a lot of people. It's a great option.
And what about any other Madison area pools?
Yeah, I mean, so I live on the west side of Madison, so there's a pool in Middleton that we really like, the Bowman Aquatic Center. There's one in Sun Prairie Family Aquatic Center. There's another Goodman Pool in Verona. There's really a lot of options when it comes to public pools. Of course, there's the private memberships that a lot of people have that can be a good option too if you're looking for being on a swim team or if you want your swimming lessons included. I think that that's a great option. It really depends on how frequently you're going to go to the pool, what you're looking for. We've done a private membership in the past where the kids then did swimming lessons all summer, and that was really great. And then they were also on the swimming team for a season. it was a really great experience. I don't know if you can do a swim team when you're not a member. I think there's probably an option.
I've gone to the Monona pool and I love it. Like, I just went for the first time and I love it.
I haven't been to that one. What did you love about it?
It reminded me of like my Baraboo pool growing up, but it had this awesome area for diving. And then it also had basically like adult time and kid time. So kids have most of the time in the pool, but then they'll be like, here's a break, 15 minutes for adults to come in. I was like, okay, I feel a little special because I just haven't gotten to a public pool in a while. Is that how a lot of the pools are?
Yeah, a lot of them on the hour, they like to clear out and give the adults adult time in there. I think it's also for safety reasons to clear everything out, make sure everything's good. And also, who knows, maybe they just want people to go to the concession stand because that's definitely where we go every hour.
Yup, I got myself a slushie, was feeling my whole child self.
And I think it's fun too. If you don't go the pool membership route, it's pretty fun to go to a different one. And then you can find like an ice cream shop nearby, or just it makes you feel like you're really getting away without having to go too far. Another really great pool is in Blue Mounds at the state park there, Blue Mounds State Park. They have a swimming pool and a camping themed splash pad. I think it's really fun when it's in a state park because then you're not limited to just swimming. You can do some other things and then go swimming too.
That's a really good point. And I'm glad you brought up splash pads because that's a whole thing that I don't know that much about, but you guys had a rundown of them.
Yeah, there's a ton of splash pads in the area. So when my kids were littler, my kids are now 10 and then I have 9-year-old twins. But when they were little, the splash pad was like a go-to for us. So we'd go to a park and then cool off on the splash pad. And sometimes we'd put them in their swimsuits, but sometimes it would just be in whatever they were wearing if it was a really hot day. So there's a lot of really fun options with splash pads. I think one of the most popular is probably McKee Farms Park in Fitchburg because it's located right by one of the dream parks. It's in the same area. So Madison has 5 area dream parks, which are just really cool playgrounds for lack of better explanation. And so it's like massive playground, really accessible to children of all needs. Like if they are unable to do steps, it's got like the ramps. It just makes it really fun and accessible. And then so McKee Farms has the splash pad right next to it. And so we used to love going there because we could play and then cool off in the splash pad or have a picnic. Another favorite is Lakeview in Middleton, and it's kind of similar. It's got at least 2 playgrounds and a pond. So massive park with the splash pad right there. So those were our go-tos when my kids were younger. And then in the last couple of years, I know more have popped up. And one that we did check out a couple years ago is the Sauk City Riverfront Park. And that's on the west bank of the Wisconsin River. And it's got the splash pad, a really fun playground, a zip line, again, ADA compliant, just to make it accessible. And it's got like a kayak launch. And so some of these are a little bit of a drive depending on where you are in the Madison area. But for me, when my kids are little, I don't mind because if they're in the car and they're, going somewhere fun, it's kind of adds to the excitement.
Yeah, definitely. And the Wisconsin River is so beautiful. It's exciting. And zip line, that's a whole adventure and a half.
Yeah, it makes you feel like you're really going far without having to drive super far and really being able to explore the Madison area.
This episode is brought to you by Nespresso and Samra Origins by the Weekend Coffee Collection.
Introducing Samra Origins. My collaboration with Nespresso is a connection to my roots, to my mother, Samra. Coffee that hits the right notes. It transports you. Crafted with unique notes and bold, soaring flavors. Experience a taste that moves you. Nespresso and Samra Origins.
Discover more at Nespresso.com.
Are you still quoting 30-year-old movies? Have you said cool beans in the past 90 days? Do you think Discover isn't widely accepted? If this sounds like you, you're stuck in the past. Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. And every time you make a purchase with your card, you automatically earn cash back. Welcome to the now. It pays to discover. Learn more at discover.com/credit card. Based on the February 2024 Nielsen report.
So you also did a roundup for beaches, and that's certainly on everyone's mind as well. Algae blooms are kind of on the mind in terms of beaches. You know, there's some places you don't want to swim as much, but what are some safe spots to swim?
So to speak to that too, it's really cool that in the Madison area, there is a website called lakeforecast.org where you can go to, and it updates the water quality. It monitors it and updates it to show which lakes are open or closed based on blue, green algae, and water clarity. So I always check that before heading out.
Have you gone swimming in Mendota or Monona?
Yeah, so we've gone out on a boat a couple times this season with friends, and my kids will jump in to the water, and it's been totally fine. I think it depends where you go on the lake as well, like how far out you are in the different, I guess, areas around it. But yeah, so we've been in it. I personally don't always love jumping in the lake, but that's just my preference. My husband will get in. So.
I used to love to swim in them, so I was just curious about that. But yeah, definitely checking it ahead is important. What other beaches stand out to you?
Yeah, so there is one that I have not been to yet, but it looks really neat. It's called Troll Beach, and it's in Stoughton. And it's a newly renovated aquatic park where you can, and it's clean city water, zero depth entry again. And then it has large inflatable play structures, which I don't know if you've seen those, but they're getting really popular. So huge.
Kind of like bouncy houses?
Yeah.
Oh, God. Nothing's better than a bouncy house.
Yeah. With slides, you can go down and you can jump around. I think my kids would love it. And I also think that beach might have a small entry fee. So the public beaches in Madison are all free to access. So Vilas Beach, which is a fun one right on Lake Wingra, perfect to go to after a day at the zoo. That one's going to be free to access. But then there's Fireman's Park in Verona is another favorite. And that one has this really neat slide that goes into the lake, like a water slide that goes into the lake. That one's going to have a fee to access, but they also, I believe, have lifeguards. So each one has different things, whether it's private or public. So the cost is going to vary. If you go to a state park beach, so Governor Dodge State Park, you just pay to get into the state park. Some people have season passes to the state park, which makes it really affordable.
I've been hearing so much about Governor Dodge, and I haven't been.
It's beautiful. Oh, you would love it. And there's some really waterfalls too. If you go, you don't have to hike too far to see them, and it just makes it really pretty. The beaches there.
It seems like lifeguards are in short supply this year. Did you hear about that?
I did. Yeah, I heard. I think last summer too. I think it's limiting some of the hours at some of these pools. From what I've seen, they're mostly open. It just might be limited hours. So I definitely always recommend checking the website before heading out. Go to the pool's website and see, are you open today before heading there? Because if they're not, there's a good chance that another place will be. So don't want to get there and find out it's closed.
I want to get to a little bit about this site, about Madison Mom. You guys are huge, and you're one of the founders of the super popular site. And you do these great guides for things to do in Madison. How often are you updating this Madison Mom?
Anything new and exciting that families would love, we try to share about it. So I'd say we're updating, if not daily, for sure a few times a week. And then we send everything out in our newsletter. It goes out Sunday evenings. And yeah, it's been fun. And it's wild for me to think that it's been a whole decade of gone fast, but we love doing what we do.
Yeah, it started as this passion of two moms, right? And now you have a whole squad. How many writers do you have?
In Madison, there's probably 15 to 20 local. I was going to say moms or women, but it's not limited to that. It's for anyone, We have followers who who are dads or who are grandparents, or maybe they're just a caretaker. We try to be
a big sister.
We're open to anyone who's looking for fun things to do in Madison, and a lot of it's going to be geared towards doing things in Madison with families or with children.
Elisa, thank you so much for giving us the scoop on Madison's best pools, splash pads, and beaches.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
That's Elisa Sleep, co-founder of local blog Madison Family, formerly known as Madison Mom. If you want help tracking our local lake's water quality, head to our show notes for a link. And hey, while we're talking about best places to take a dip, we want to share with you that we here on CityCast Madison are in the running for Madison Magazine's annual Best of Madison Awards. And not just in one, but two categories this year, Best Local Podcast and Best Local News Website. Will you help us bring home the gold? Vote us Best of Madison. Head to our show notes for a link to vote. That's all for today here on CityCast Madison. I'm Bianca Martin, your host. If you enjoyed the show, why not share this episode with your friend with kiddos who love the pool, or that one friend who loves the water more than the air. It's me. I'm that one friend. But share this with someone else. We'll be back tomorrow morning with more stories from around the city. Until then, take good care.